When you're eyeing a laptop that can actually handle the latest games without turning into a hot brick, the decision feels a lot heavier than picking a new phone. You're weighing heat, fan noise, how the keyboard feels after a marathon session, whether the battery will last through a quick coffee break, and if the price makes sense compared to building a desktop. I'm not here to hype the specs. I'm here to walk you through the real-world experience of the Lenovo ThinkPad T580 so you can decide if it truly fits your gaming needs. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the T580 sits in an odd spot. ThinkPad is traditionally a business line, but Lenovo has added a Core i7 and a modest 8GB of RAM to make it more of an all-rounder. That means you can run titles like Shadow of the Tomb Raider or Fortnite at medium settings. But you shouldn't expect ultra-high graphics on the 15-inch screen. The display is a 1080p panel that leans toward the business side. Color accuracy is decent, but the brightness tops out around 250 nits, which can feel dim in a sunny room. If you game mostly indoors with controlled lighting, it's fine. If you plan to take it outside or sit near a window, you'll notice the washout. Heat is the first practical hurdle that gamers hit. Under a sustained load, say an hour of Apex Legends the T580's bottom and the palm rests start to warm noticeably. Lenovo's Power Bridge technology helps shift power between the battery and the AC adapter, but it doesn't magically keep the chassis cool. The fans kick in with a low to medium whine that's audible in a quiet room. It's not a scream like some thin gaming laptops, but if you're used to a silent setup, you'll hear it. After about 30 minutes, the fan speed settles into a steady hum, and the temperature stabilizes around the mid-80s F, around 30 C. For short bursts of gameplay, this is acceptable. For marathon sessions, you'll probably need a cooling pad, or at least a well-ventilated desk. Keyboard feel is where the ThinkPad heritage shines. The classic 1.5mm travel and the distinct click give you feedback that many gaming laptops lack. I tried a few sessions with a mechanical keyboard attached via USB, and the built-in keys still held their own, especially when you need that extra precision for aiming. The keyboard also has the typical ThinkPad spill-resistant layout, which is a nice bonus if you're prone to coffee mishaps during long gaming nights. However, the absence of perky RGB lighting means you won't get the flashy ambience that some gamers crave. If you're fine with a functional, no-frills layout, you'll appreciate the durability. If you want the gamer aesthetic, you'll feel the omission. Battery life is a realistic compromise. With the 4-cell 57Wh pack, you can expect around 4 hours of mixed-use web browsing, office work, and a couple of light gaming sessions at reduced settings. When you crank a modern game to medium graphics, the battery drops to roughly 2 hours before the charger becomes necessary. That aligns with what you'd expect from a machine that's not purpose-built for unplugged gaming. If you plan to game on the go, the T580 isn't the best candidate. You'll be tethered to an outlet, or a power bank with enough wattage to feed the laptop's 65W adapter. Port selection is surprisingly generous for a gaming-oriented device. You get a full-size HDMI 2.0, a mini DisplayPort, USB-C with power delivery, and 3 USB-A 3.1 ports, plus a smart card reader and Ethernet. That means you can hook up an external monitor for a dual-screen setup, attach a wired mouse, and still have a USB-C dock for charging or fast data transfers. The presence of an Ethernet port is a subtle nod to the business market, but it's also great for gamers who want a rock-solid connection without relying on Wi-Fi. Now let's talk price. The T580 with a Core i7, 8GB RAM, and Windows 10 Pro typically lands in the mid-$1,000 range. Compare that to a desktop with a similar CPU, a dedicated GPU, and a 1080p monitor, and you're looking at a similar cost plus the convenience factor of portability. If you value a single, transportable machine that can double as a work laptop, the price makes sense. If you're purely after gaming performance and you already own a decent monitor, A desktop will give you more GPU horsepower for the same money. In short, the ThinkPad is a compromise. It offers decent gaming capability, robust business features, and a reliable chassis at a price that sits between entry-level gaming laptops and full-blown workstations. Who should buy it? If you're a professional who needs a laptop that can handle occasional gaming, video calls, spreadsheets, and the occasional 3D rendering, the T580 hits a sweet spot. The security features TPM 2.0, optional fingerprint reader, and Lenovo's ThinkShield suite provide peace of mind for corporate environments, something you won't find on most gamer-branded laptops. If you're a student who wants a machine for both coursework,